You are watching Co-op for Two. I'm Jesse, and we are continuing our playthrough of Legacy of Dragonholt. This is episode 7, I think. And let's recap where we are. We're still in the middle of day 4 in the village, but after letting the royal son Philip, die because we were just hanging around the village, we started to get more active. And we had 2 quests that we went on. In the previous episode, we went into the Goblin Mine and we took care of it handily. We did not blow it up with the dynamite that we secured, which I think may have saved us, but I'm curious to read after the campaign is finished what would have happened. We had an opportunity to use some dynamite, but we scared the goblins out, we recovered the mine, and we were handsomely rewarded with lots of gold for that. And then before that, we got this frost rune in this crypt with these wolves and spiders, and here from the goblin we got the war rune. And we actually had good use of the previous rune, the frost rune, from there. So we're back in the village. It's actually evening. We've got 4 more times, so half of day 4 has passed. And we've been benefiting from today quite a bit from this swiftness potion, which gave us agility and thievery, which came in very handy. And we've been using it. We used it for 2 quests because we did them both on day 4. And I'd like to use it some more before it wears off. It's only good for 1 day. We also got some interesting stuff. We got, so let's see. So there's the swiftness potion that we have for the remainder of today. But we also found 2 more things. We found a strange mushroom that says, could it be poisonous? But we can eat it. We could just eat it and see what happens. It's a little scary. And this is the war rune we found. On its own, however, it is no more than a small stone. So this actually is telling us, unlike the frost rune, that like you got to make something with this. You're not going to be able to use it on its own. And we did actually, in a previous day, go to the, I think it was the smithy, where the guy was like, hey, if you had a war rune, I could make this fantastic sword for you. So I'm inclined to come back here. And I think there was another place we could use it, but I don't remember where, maybe to make a shield. But I'd rather have a sword. And now that we have gold, 160 gold, I am inclined to go do that. So that's where I want to go. I wouldn't mind eating that mushroom and seeing what happens. I mean, unless there's a place we can go that will tell us about it. And we went to the northern road. That's where we had one of our adventures. And the Willow Grove, which is where we had our mine adventure. So I believe the northern road is where we had the adventure with the wolves and spiders and frost rune. And I believe Willow Grove was where we just were to meet the Goblin Mine. And I think there's another quest here on the eastern road. I'm trying to remember. I wish I had taken a better note of what it said was out the eastern road. And remember, the other road out was the dragon statues. That was to save Philip, that we didn't do. We just let him die. So let's read 4832, which is where we came back after our Goblin Mine. And let's just recap here. And we've already done this. So we came back. Fiore was the one. I think this might have been at the smithy. But is Fiore. I think this is a person. But she's basically saying, you got rid of all the goblins. That's great. gain 150 gold, 2 progress in heroism, 1 progress in combat, 1 progress in physical training, 2 time past encounters complete. Okay, so that's it. We're back at the village. All right. So we could go to the smithy and try to get our sword made. I mean, surely that's what we're going to do before we try to find another quest. But we probably should go back to the manor at some point soon. And I wish I knew what else we would do with the... I wish I could remember what our other option is with the war rune. But no matter what it is, I think the sword would be our choice. So let's go to the smithy and see if we can't get that sword made. 5780. At the end of the market row stands a low building with a gray slate roof and a thick chimney, the smithy. The workshop portion of the building sports clapboard walls easily opened to let in cooler air when the furnace is in use, while a brownstone annex hosts what you presume are living quarters, offices, storage, and other necessities in the smithy's trade. A polished silver hammer hangs from a wrought iron signpost outside the front door, inscribed with Dunwar characters. A bronze plaque is set into the wall, with the same legend written in the common tongue, Fiore Brightmall Smith. So yes, the person who paid us for the mine is the same person that we're back. So 5 or less time has passed today. We're allowed to go in. 7743. Let's keep track as we normally do. We went to 5780, which sent us to 7743. A hot wind blows around you as you duck into the workshop. The roar of the furnace is punctuated by loud clanging and the in and out breathing of the bellows. If this is your first time, it's not. If story point N1 is marked but R5 is not, well, let's see. N1 isn't marked, so that doesn't handle us. Wow, again, another smithy thing. Okay, so let's make a note here. I'm going to write 7743 wants N1. Now, this is an interesting mechanic. Often so we've played a couple games that have used this mechanic where you mark a certain letter or thing that the person wants, and when you find that thing somewhere else, then you should know to come back. But mostly what we've seen it here for is to gatekeep a return visit. So most of the places that say, like, if you have A5, go here. If not, go here. And when you go to this other place, you get A5. So it's just a thing that says it's just a thing to keep you when you come back to the thing. It doesn't repeat that over again, but we'll see if that's true in this case. Otherwise, read 4422. Sorry, 4422. Fiore directs your attention to her stock room, which is directly adjoining the workshop and filled with useful items. Trivets and nails and horseshoes, of course, but also swords, daggers, coats of mail, a vicious-looking warhammer, a wide selection of other implements of the adventuring trade. Or I'm available for special commissions, of course, she adds, idly fondling her silver necklace. Well, Borzarth is. He's the journeyman. His rates are much more affordable than mine, she laughs. Okay, so we can purchase equipment for 25 gold. Contract Fiore to forge a magical sword requires the war rune. So that's what we're here for. So 8726. I wonder what else she could make us. Did we buy stuff from her before? I do want more healing potions, but surely that's not what she's gonna have. Maybe we come back here and look at this one. 8726. I'm tempted to do the other thing first because I think this war rune is going to eat up time for her to make it, or she'll say come back the next day. But I don't want to take a chance that we're going to spend the gold, time's going to advance, and then it's too late to come back to the store. So we're just going to go straight for it. 8726. I think we need more healing potions is what we need. Let me see that. Fiore takes the rune shard from you and holds it up to the light, turning it slowly to examine it from all angles. She shifts in her chair toward a nearby table, then places the rune on the wooden surface and scrabbles about a bit for a piece of paper and a stick of charcoal. With a few quick strokes, she takes a rubbing of the rune, which she sets aside. I'm no rune master, but I think this is the draconic glyph for war, she says. She sketches for a moment, humming quietly, then nods. At the crossguard, with the thread of silver running the length of the blade. Yes, I believe I can work with this. She returns her attention to you. With this, I can forge you the finest sword you'll ever see in your life, and I'll do the work myself. None of my apprentices are up to this task. 150 gold is my fee. Basically all of our money. What do you say? We can reject it or accept it. Here's the dilemma. I mean, I think we're going to accept it. The dilemma is we have 160 gold. So it's basically all our money, which would mean we'll have no money to buy healing potions, and we only have 2, and we're down a bit of health, a third of our health. So it would make going on another quest difficult today. So I think we're going to have the sword made and maybe not go on another quest today. All right, so we're going to do it. We're going to spend the money. We're here, right? 5, 2, 3, 7. We're going to spend our gold. So we go from 160 gold back down to 10. Well, that was hard-won money from that Goblin Mine. All right, let's see what happens. So I'm very curious about this sword. And maybe the sword will make us try to build up our... Well, we may have to build up our strength to use it. I'd rather have a magical bow and arrow because we're good at archery. You won't regret it, says the dwarf with a... hold on, before we read this. There is an archery, right? Like, Chatty Archer. Can they make some magical art bow for us? Boy, am I going to be unhappy if the archer is like, hey, you have a war rune? I'll make you a fantastic bow with it. Maybe I should say not so fast. You can just reject the offer and come back. I mean, I would rather have a magic war bow and arrow. I'm going to reject the offer. I've changed my mind. Just keep the plan on ice. Let's not spend the money yet. I guess that's cheating. We already paid the money to turn the page. All right, let's continue. Let's just go forward. I'm okay with cheating in this respect. It's not like we didn't read anything. Like, we didn't read anything that told us anything. What's the odds we're gonna get a? We're not gonna get a magical archery bow. All right, let's just continue. She takes your money in the rune and places it in an iron box, which she closes and locks before tucking the silver key into her smock. Brill, she calls, and the young dwarf apprentice comes running. Run to the stores and bring me a 10 weight of black iron and a single bar of bright mall silver. The apprentice rushes off and Fiore reaches for her crutch again. I'll get started straight away. Come back tomorrow. I may have something for you. So, as we considered, she wants us, it's going to take her a whole day. All right, so we lose the war rune. Okay. And we mark N1, which I've done. Time passes, which is here. We should make a note on our little notes here. Day 5, go to the smithy for sword, right? We don't want to forget to do that early tomorrow. And encounter is complete. Okay. I'm tempted to go to the archer to see if the paint, maybe let's not do that. That's going to be a bitter pill. If that guy's like, I can make you a bow with the war rune. I don't want to know. But I also don't want to go. I don't want to lose. I want to use the swiftness potion to go on another quest, but I don't want to go on another quest without the sword. So I guess we're not going on the sword. We're not going on another quest today. We're going to check out some other stuff. We have no money to buy healing potions. That hurts me. Let's go to Fairfax Manor. I still want to catch Gowan, the horse person that we know is the traitor. Like, when are we going to get the opportunity? Bakery. We could go back to the apothecary and check in on those two. Let's go to Fairfax Manor, 1400. It might be too late, but let's see. They're not going to be happy with us since we didn't rescue Phillips. That's pretty upsetting. Okay, Fairfax Manor describes it. If 4 or less, otherwise the manor house is not accepting visitors. All right, it's too late for the manor house. So we missed our chance by 1 time slot to go there today. That's unfortunate. All right, let's visit our friends at the apothecary, 6300. If 0 time is apothecary, sorry, if 5 or less time has passed, read the entry below. Okay, so it's still open at 5. This would be a good thing to note, right? Like, we should start making notes. I know we talked about this before, but the manor open till 4. The apothecary open till 5. But the thing is, well, no, I guess it does matter, because you would go to nothing harms you if you go there and they're closed, but you should have planned better if you knew what time they'd be open to. Okay, so it's day 4. The shop has been completely restored with no sign that it was gutted. It was a gutted ruin only a short time ago. A large banner hangs outside, the words "Grand Opening" written in it in friendly letters. As you pass inside, you find the shop decorated with sunflowers and sprigs of lavender in every corner and crowded with patrons and the curious. You see Braxton emerge through the back door, carrying a wooden crate full of glass bottles, which she carefully unpacks onto a high shelf. Miriam is standing on the counter, talking in rapid-fire sentences to 2 patrons at once, explaining how her elixir will relieve an elderly human woman's back pain. Willow bark and spring tonic will reduce swelling and dull the pain, and how her cough tonic will cure an orc man's son's cold. Hyssop and elderflower and honey. After a few moments, Miriam hands over small glass bottles to both customers in exchange for jingling coins, which she tucks into her apron. Then she bounds off the counter and jogs over to you. Good to see you, she says. Isn't this great? How can I help you? So we can browse the potions and elixirs, but we have no money. Or we can offer our assistance. That's the only option. We can't even just leave. So let's offer our assistance, which is going to take time and stamina. I don't love that, but maybe... I mean, they are our friends, so I guess we should. 2599. I mean, maybe she'll give us a free healing potion for helping. Oh, I wouldn't want you to... Miriam trails off as the door opens and a mass of new customers walks into the store. Stone in my boot, she swears. All right, yes, please, thank you. I would love some help. Marion places you under Braxton's direction as she races to help the customers, and so you spend the next few hours fetching and carrying until you slowly grow more familiar with the shop's stock. Eventually, you're stocking shelves on your own and even directing customers to potions and poultices they seek. Mark 1 progress in physical training and 1 progress in social practice. Okay, that was a nice surprise. 1 in physical training, 1 more, and we'll be able to buy ourselves a nice new skill. And 1 in social practice. We only have 1 experience. I don't know why we haven't gained more experience from these quests. Whoa, but then 2 times have passed. That's almost the end of day 4. Okay. Now, if story point 04 is ticked, which it is not, read entry 1685. So I'm going to make, well, that's day 4, so that's not going to help us. Okay, otherwise 9814. Maybe we're going to learn about 04 ourselves here. 9814. Eventually, the flood of customers becomes a trickle, and Miriam has a moment to breathe. She waves you over as she shelves bundles of fragrant herbs. Thanks for the help, she says. She brushes her hand clean on her apron, then walks to the counter and steps up the convenient gnome stairs, then stares, counting out coins from her many pockets. I have to know that I can actually make this shop run without relying on charity from my friends. So here, she slides a stack of silver and gold coins into a small bag and ties it off. Your wages. Now go and enjoy what's left of the market day. She presses the bag into your hands and leaps down to tend to another customer. You gain 30 gold. Okay, that was nice. So now we've got 40 gold. All right, we have enough now to buy some healing potions, which are nice to have. She wants us to go to the market, which we've already been today. I believe, not today, yesterday. And that's where we bought that wonderful potion. I wouldn't mind buying another one. Let's go to the market. It's night, though. I don't know if it's going to be open. 5,500. It's the description of the market, which we've seen before. Day 4. You've never seen the market street so crowded, thronged. It is day 4, right? So, thronged with people and animals and carts inching along. Merchants shout themselves hoarse, hawking their wares, while customers inspect their goods. Travelers wander the street, gawking at the throngs of people. And 2 guards in Fairfax livery walk a slow and purposeful patrol. You recognize several of the crops for sale as being from the recent harvest. Bushels of round red beans and sheafs of golden grain and baskets piled high with red apples. One end of the row seems to be dominated by carts piled high with black and white wool and thronged with customers haggling so loudly it seems a fight might break out at any moment. A round-faced human woman with a smile and a gaily embroidered dress displays blankets, coats, dresses, and other cloths, all worked in a similar bright colors. A short human man with a thick mustache and a striped turban has placed his cart at one end of the row. The sign hanging from his wagon reads Al Amir's Elixirs. He's holding aloft one bottle of colored liquids after another, proclaiming their efficacy. Step right up. Come and see what my brother and I have in store for you. I feel like... Yeah, okay. So on day 3, he was also selling Al Amir's elixir. And we took a look at that. So now we're back. We can buy another one. Okay, so we can browse. Not far from the wool merchant, a brown-furred catfolk woman in a red tunic argues with a pinch-faced human woman. The human stall is laden with dried and salted fish. The catfolk's tufted ears are pointed back and her tail swishing with angry vigor. So we could browse Al Amir's elixirs, or we could browse the wares of the excitable duo, which is the catfolk and the human woman. Or we could approach the catfolk. Oh, sorry. I think we skipped a step here. So there's Al Amir's elixirs. Then, step right up calls a red-haired human man with a white at his temples. He gestures with a curved cane as if to snag passing sheep at his stall. Come see what my brother and I have in store for you. You have my personal guarantee you've never seen anything like it. His brother, also red-haired but somewhat younger, takes up his patter with the ease of long practice. That's right, brother of mine. Our wares are one of a kind, never to be equaled. You cannot afford to pass this chance by, folks. Although their market stall is very well decorated and laid out, you cannot seem to make out what precisely this dynamic duo is selling. Not far from the wool merchants, a brown-furred catfolk woman in a red tunic argues with a pinch-faced human woman. The woman's stall is laden with dried and salted fish. The catfolk's tufted ears are pointed back and her tail swishing with angry vigor. Okay, so we can browse the wares of the excitable duo. We can approach the catfolk. We can try to steal some coins, or we can leave the market. Now, we do have thievery, but I feel like with our fame down to 0 for not saving Philip, we should not be robbing people. And I do want to buy more of these wares, but I feel like story-wise, I think it's time for us to start meeting catfolk. So let's approach the catfolk in red. See what these catfolk are all about. Maybe we can make friends with a catfolk creature. The catfolk woman growls slightly as you approach. She's holding something in her hands, a mask fashioned from wood and leather and lacquered green. She leans forward, offering it to the fishmonger. Please, she yowls. This is a special mask, blessed by the spirits. It is very valuable. I must have 2 baskets of fish. I don't care if the mask belonged to King Dakan himself, scoffs the fishmonger. I sell these fish for money, you hear me? This isn't a swap meet. Okay, mark story point D1. Okay. If V5 is marked, which it is not, read entry 8035. Otherwise, 3988. 3988. So we're going to hear a little bit of a story. You step closer to the ongoing dispute, and the fishmonger promptly attempts to rope you in on her side. Can you believe this, furball? She complains. She wants over 100 pounds of fish, but will she pay for it? No. The woman slaps her hand on the weathered board that serves as her countertop and points a finger at the catfolk. Not only that, she seems to think she can just help herself to my stock. I was only pointing out that my village needs the fish more than you do, says the catfolk woman with a twitch of her tail. And anyways, I am offering you a very fair trade. This mask is very useful and beautiful. But it's not 60 gold coins now, is it? Asks the fishmonger. That's the price, and that's what you'll need if you want your 2 barrels of salted salmon. She sniffs. Do you have any idea how hard it is to even find salmon this far from the ocean? What is the ocean? Asks the Catwoman, her eyes narrow and her tail lashes. Are you making a joke of me? The human groans and turns to you. I give up. You talk to her. If you are a catfolk or have empathy, well, neither of those are true. And we don't have the ability to give ourselves empathy. Then we would read 7334. Otherwise, 9173. Okay. 9173. You attempt to explain the nuances of currency-based systems of exchange, but with every word, the catfolk woman's ears get flatter and flatter, and her tail lashes faster and faster. Enough, she growls and spits. I can tell you have no respect for any ways other than your own. Several nearby people draw away from the woman, creating an open space around her. She snarls and claws extend from her free hand, shining white in the summer sun. What's all this, then? Asks one of the liveried guards, stepping up with his hand on the cudgel at his belt. Who's this? What kind of creature are you? He peers at the catfolk woman with naked curiosity and disdain. She shrieks, slashing in his general direction with her claws, then bounds away, scrambles up a tree, and leaps to a nearby rooftop. In moments, she's gone. The fishmonger shrugs, thanks you for your help, and offers some discount fish that makes your stomach churn just to look at. You politely decline. Mark 1 progress in social practice. Okay, so we're 1 away from completing that. Time passes. Well, that's the end of day 4. So we're going to read the end of day 4. But before we do that, I want to check again Sonia's journal where she told us where the catfolk were. She was telling us a story. This is the journal of the daughter that was killed on the horse. And I remember, I believe, in her diary, she talks about wanting to find the cat people and knowing where, telling us a little bit where she saw them. Let's see. So here's her diary list of what she wants to do. I know there's catfolk in the forest. I'm going to find them. Okay, so catfolk in the forest, which was out through the dragon statues. I guess that's all we're gonna know. So if we want to meet the catfolk, we might have to go out to the forest. Okay. Catfolk in the forest. All right, well, we've ended the day. So now we must read entry 1501. And we've lost our swiftness potion. It's done. That is gonna hurt. And that is what let us do the goblins so easily. All right, so that's gone. We put that back, although it seems like maybe we could buy another one at the market. All right, 1501. End of day 4. You climb up to your room and prepare for bed. Out the windows you can still see sparks and light from the bonfire on the village green, which we did not go back to. But we did go there earlier. And hear the odd snippet of music or rowdy celebrants. It seems as if the village is settling down to sleep with a smile on its face. So we did go, we knew there was a bonfire. We went to the village green earlier in the day. And village green earlier in the day, and we had an encounter there. Now, should we have gone, we wondered at the time, did we need to come here at night? But there was stuff for us. But if we should have been there at night, if there's a different thing to read at night, then we messed up by not keeping a record of that. I'm just going to look. I'm not going to do it, obviously, but I'm going to look to see if we should have. Yep. It says, if 6 or more time has passed, read this. So we should have made a note of that and gone back there at night, and that is our fault. We may have missed something important because we didn't keep good enough notes that told us to go back there at night. That is a slip up on our part. All right. Well, it seems as if the village is settling down to sleep with a smile on its face. You sleep hard and deeply, and if you dream, you don't remember it. You each recover half of your maximum stamina. Okay, so that brings us back to max stamina. So it's a good thing we didn't try to raise that artificially. The chapter of the story ends here. When you're ready to begin the next chapter, read entry 6452. Day 5 start 6452. Okay, we're going to end this episode here. A short episode wrapping up day 4 in the village, an uneventful end of the day. A little slip up and mistake on our part by not going to the bonfire at night. Hopefully that won't cost us too dearly. But we do have a magical sword being constructed for us at the smithy, which we will get at the start of day 5 on the next episode.